Let's get more on this. We'll be speaking now to the South African Democratic Teachers Union's Mpumalanga Provincial Secretary, Walter Hlaise. A very good evening to you. Thank you so much for your time, Walter. Talk to us about some of these boiling points. How on earth has the Mpumalanga province reached this point where schools are becoming danger zones?
Well, schools are becoming danger zones simply because they are vulnerable. There's very little security in the schools, and the teachers themselves, the learners, when they go to school, they are unarmed, so they become soft targets, and you know, the risk, I think, for people who are perpetrating these crimes is quite less when they target schools. We've seen an increasing amount of attacks on schools. It means that whoever is doing this thing has identified schools as a soft target.
What do you think are some of the urgent interventions that are needed to curb this rise, which now seems to be a trend?
Well, for example, we established that the police station in Hlaise that is supposed to be protecting the area has a staff establishment of about 180. But currently, the staff numbers are around 80. So you have 100 or so police members who have not been employed, and they only have one police van to police the whole area, to the extent that when an SOS is sent to the police station for assistance, the police station is unable to respond. Those are some of the problems that we have identified as a cause, because the criminals are aware that the police response to such a thing is virtually non-existent. We have had a number of criminal acts that have been committed in the area, and so far they've become just cold cases, you know, and there's no follow-up simply because of low staffing levels in the police stations. Number two is that in a school, the primary concern, or rather what is driving the school, is teaching and learning. So issues of security, the teachers and the principals are not well schooled in those areas. So they will be focusing on teaching and learning, but at the same time, you find that people who are planning how to exploit that weakness that they see in the schools. So it's quite concerning, and the number of incidents is now increasing, meaning that we might see even a killing if this is not stopped.
As the number increases, and you're noting that with great concern, what sort of intervention would you like to see from the education officials together with the support of the SAPS?
Well, I hear many experts on security when interviewed on TV or on radio. They say that visible policing is an active hindrance to criminal activity. That should be the start, you know. When there's visible policing, I'm sure that a lot of people will think twice about committing some of these things.
Yeah.
Secondly, the response time to a cry for help from schools should be rapid, so that the people who are committing these things are arrested. Lastly, is to involve the community in all solutions that will be arrived at the meeting that will be holding with the department tomorrow. Increasing the presence of parents and the community members in the solution itself will go a long way to assist, to ensure that, you know, people who try to commit these crimes are arrested.
And insofar as the impact, how have these heightened robberies and criminal elements affected the business of the day, teaching and learning? How are learners also impacted by these incidents?
Well, I received the report today about a learner who, even today, is still shaking from the experience, because we were told that one of the robbers held a knife to her throat. This is a very, very young girl, 13 years or so, who had a knife to her throat. It's very traumatic. She's still going through the trauma even today. Now, in terms of the teachers, they are fearful of going to work. At the same time, it's not possible to stay away from the workplace because that will attract some form of no work, no pay from the department. But it's very difficult for them. They don't go to work, like everybody else who goes to work, singing and happy. They go there with a lot of anxiety. And it's creating a lot of problems for these teachers. Some are elderly and really are not well. Even if today, we've seen some of them today, they're still shaking from that experience because normally a school is not where you expect such things to happen. Yeah. And the brazenness of it is quite shocking. So it's quite traumatic and nobody's going to work happy.
When your meeting happens tomorrow, what immediate intervention would you like to see as you meet with officials, with parents and teachers alike, hoping to get a way forward?
Well, first of all, we want to hear from the experts themselves who are more schooled in the area of providing security to safety and security to communities, what they think can be done to arrest, sorry for the pun, but to arrest the situation. We want to hear what their proposals will be. Our expectation is that they will tell us that, no, this matter is receiving attention, and from today, rather, well, we'll be mentioning that tomorrow, they'll say that from today, we're going to take the following steps to ensure that these things do not happen anymore. That's what we want to hear from them. At the end of the day, what we want, it's a very simple thing. We want safety in our schools. We want safety in our communities. We want criminals to be arrested. We want visible policing to act as a deterrent. We want schools where, the business of the school is teaching and learning and not creating barriers for criminals not to enter. We are not trained for that, and we think that the people who are trained to do this thing must step in and assist us. Number two, as we are meeting with the parents and the community, we are also mobilizing them to ensure that they must remain vigilant for people who are not known for strange cars that are hovering around schools, for strange cars that are hovering around clinics, so that they report the schools, so that some form of intelligence can be gathered to be given to the police so that they can identify the people behind these things.
Very well. Thank you so much for that very detailed response. So wishing you all the best there. South African Democratic Teachers Union Mpumalanga Provincial Secretary Walter Hlaise speaking about their wish list insofar as intervention is concerned when it comes to schools being attacked, several schools in Mpumalanga being attacked by criminals who are often getting away with it.